Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back for another episode, and I'm absolutely thrilled today to have with me Debbie Zabica. Debbie is the executive director of Serving the Hill Country chapter of the American Red Cross. So, Debbie, with that incredibly long winded introduction, first of all, welcome and thank you so much for coming to visit with us.
Thank you for inviting me. This is wonderful.
So, Debbie, could you tell us about the Serving the Hill Country chapter of the American Red Cross?
I would be delighted to do that. One thing is people don't realize we serve 19 counties. We go all the way from Bernie, all the way up to Llano, over to Sanderson, down to Del Rio, Eagle Pass, and over to Hondo and all areas in between. And one of the things that we really concentrate here on the Hill Country is preparing people in case there is a disaster. And one of our number one disasters in the Hill Country is actually home fires, and it is across the country. Everybody thinks the Red Cross and hurricanes and tornadoes and wildfires, but our number one, especially here in the Hill Country and across the country, is actually home fires. And so one of the things we try to do is prepare people for the winter storm. What do you need to have in case that we have another winter storm? Or in the summer when it's so hot, what do you need? You need water, you need certain things. And so we have trainings on that. We also have trainings for children on how to help them be prepared. And also that goes in, they take them to their parents. But one of the things we do here in this area is we've been targeted as a project to do ready communities. It's called Neighbors Helping Neighbors. And so we're out trying to do smoke alarms. We're working with the Meals on Wheels. Right now we have 65 people who have said they need smoke alarms who get Meals on Wheels in this basically this county. And so we will be working with volunteers in with the Dietrich Center to install smoke alarms in those houses that need, especially the seniors who need help. The other thing is that we do Be Red Cross Ready, which was our preparedness programs. We have hands-only CPR, where people can learn how to just do basic CPR without the mouth to mouth, but it's actually teaching them compression. So we have a lot of programs that we do here in the Hill Country, and like I said, we've targeted Kirk County. We also down south have targeted Menard County and Hondo area, and we're working with Meals and Wheels and the health department trying to get more people to be prepared.
What's the role of the Red Cross after a disaster or an emergency happens?
Once the emergency happens, of course, we go in almost immediately. And if we need to, we will set up a shelter. And then once they don't need the shelter anymore, we also provide health services for people. Even if it's a house fire, we provide health services and also mental health and even spiritual health. And that will continue even if after the disaster is over, if people need help. The other thing people don't know is if there's a mass casualty, like when in Uvalde, which is terrible, but the Red Cross was there. And so we're there to help the community, whatever they face.
Could you tell us your career with the Red Cross?
I've only been a little less than 2 years, but my Red Cross story goes back whenever I was a kid and I learned how to swim from Red Cross training. And then whenever I was in college, I was a canoe instructor and taught people how to canoe. And then when I worked for the Girl Scouts for a number of years, and I was in Wichita Falls when the bad tornado hit in '79, and then we had a flood about 2 years later, and so we closed our office, and we helped the Red Cross with mass feeding. I grew up in Lorain, Texas, out in West Texas, and then went to Howard Payne University.
And did you go into the nonprofit world after college?
Yes, I went directly to work for the Girl Scouts, and I worked for them for over 36 years and retired.
What brought you to the Hill Country?
I actually started at the Hill Country SPCA as their executive director, and then the position, came open for the Red Cross, and really my goal is really helping people. I love the animals, I love watching people adopt animals, but my heart really was helping people and being a humanitarian, so
What's the size of the local chapter here?
we have 19 counties, which I said earlier.
Actually, I meant with the folks working with you or
Oh,
for you.
okay, we have in our area, we only had 3 paid staff members. 90% of our workforce actually are volunteers. And across our area, we have over 100 volunteers in the whole 19 counties. So we always can use more, especially whenever we're doing DAC calls and helping, establish shelters. So
What's a DAT call?
that is where a fire, if there's a fire, is a DAT call.
So do you work with, city and county officials to help in preparedness? If so, could you tell us about that?
We do work with the county and we do have work with the city a little bit. Is if there's a disaster, we're there. And we have a relationship with both of them. So if they call us up, we're going to be helping set up a shelter or do whatever they ask us to do.
Do you still help people learn how to swim?
We do. We have a lady here who actually has a business. Runs Red Cross and teaches swimming and lifeguarding and even our first aid and CPR training.
What are some of the other programs you have?
Like I said, Red Cross Ready, which I mentioned earlier. We have a pillowcase project for kids, and then we have Prepare for Pedro is for younger kids, and then, of course, the hands-only CPR that I talked about. But we have other trainings that if you wanna be a volunteer, the Red Cross has tons of training. They'll train you to death, but people are prepared whenever they go out and they have to do a shelter, and we've done shelter training here.
Are you a
So,
part of a larger number of districts in the state of Texas?
there are 3 actually regions in the state of Texas. We're part of the Central Texas and South Texas region, which goes all the way from El Paso all the way down to Laredo, San Antonio, Austin, College Station, all of that area, Midland, Odessa.
That's a
So,
huge region.
it's a yes, and then we have different chapters within that region, and then we're part of the division, which is the Rocky Mountain Division.
Okay.
So,
I know you have an upcoming fundraiser,
we do.
so who can tell me about that?
I think we've got Andrew here to talk about that.
Hello, thank you for inviting me on. And yes, I'm a current board
Mhm.
member, and the event that we're talking about is next Thursday, which is March 21st from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. in downtown Bernie, cute and quaint downtown Bernie, at the Richter Tavern. And the Richter and Cisco are sponsoring the event. Cisco is providing the food, and the executive chef from the Richter is actually preparing the food. So we're going to call it heavy hors d'oeuvres and appetizers, along with about 15 wine vendors to try out a bunch of different wines. The owner, Joey and Guy Sanders, have connections with for some of those wine vendors. So they're unique wines, and they'll be able to talk about some of those and pair those with the food, plus some live music and a silent auction. Tickets are $40 a pop. So buy them now because it's a limited space and they're running out quickly. But we do still have room for sponsorships available too, all from levels from $100 all the way up to 1,000. If you wanted to contribute, would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, 153 South Main Street in Bernie next Thursday evening, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the event is called Corks for Compassion.
And
So
everything goes to the support the Red Cross.
Yeah. Yes. So all the benefits or the proceeds go to support the local
Mhm.
chapter here in Texas Hill Country of the Red Cross.
we have a unique event coming to Kerrville and the Hill Country in the form of a total eclipse.
Yes.
And although not a disaster, many are people are considering it an emergency. Has the Red Cross been asked to help prepare for that event?
We have some actually, we're my other staff member who's here is actually at a meeting with the chamber as we speak, and we will be there to support, and one of the things that if we had a fire, we will have a shelter set up because there's no way we would somebody's house burns up, they gotta have a place to live, and so we will be helping do that to help support the community.
So if people wanted more information on the serving the Texas Hill Country
Mm.
branch
Mhm,
or the state or even the National Red
mhm.
Cross, what might be the best place or places they could go?
Of course, I'm gonna say come to our office, which is across the street from the courthouse at 333 Earl Garrett. We're always there, or somebody will there, or you can call our office, and we're there to support the community. And they can go on our website. We have a website, Hill Country American Red Cross has a chapter website, and also we have a national website. So,
What's your office phone number?
oh, you're just we'll go with that.
I'll give you one better. How about this? If I got your email. You
Yeah,
could email Debbie
yeah,
at debbie.zabica, debie dot zabica at redcross.org. And I believe if you go to redcross.org, there
yeah.
is a spot to find our specific
That's
chapter
right, and
there.
it's easier just to email me than try to do the phone, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Debbie, is there anything more you wanted to talk about the local chapter of the Red Cross
Well,
that I didn't ask?
I just wanna thank everyone in the community and around this whole hill country area because they've been so wonderful, and We just we want to help people. That's the thing about the Red Cross. We want to help people. If they need it, if they have a fire, they need to call 1-800 Red Cross and we'll be there to help people. Or if there's a flash flood or something, we're there to help and they just need to call 1-800 Red Cross.
Debbie, I wanted to thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us today, talk to us about the Red Cross and the serving the Texas Hill Country chapter. We can continue this conversation.
Thank you so much.